What's going on, guys? Scopomar TV here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Damon Wayans on Club Shay Shay podcast, where he talked about how he broke up his marriage of many years because of show business. Now, before I get into this video, I want to talk about let me set the stage. Basically, for me, I'm an artist. I work with models on set. When you're working with somebody on camera or you're around them 8 hours a day, right? You're working on a project. There tends to be this work relationship that's formed. Now, I can only imagine for Damon Wayans when he is working with this female that he broke up his marriage for weeks, months, years. It could be years he's working with this girl. He didn't say who, right? But I can tell you from my experience working around these girls, it is very tempting to do the wrong things. It is very tempting to trick your brain into thinking that you and this person have something special. Well, in fact, you guys are just playing a role. You guys are just acting. Now, let's hear what he got to say.
I was married from, since 84 or something like that. So I didn't.
Damn, you ain't get a chance to enjoy the single life of your stand-up.
I did. I broke up my marriage. Don't worry. Don't worry. I broke up my marriage.
This man's sick. Oh, I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. And I regret it.
Really?
Yeah, because, when in show business, you think that this chemistry you got with this person, this actress, is like special and pure. And then what you don't realize is she gonna go do that on the next role with somebody else. And you be like, but I left my wife for you. Yeah. You know what? Tell her the stuff you told my character. She'll take you back.
That is cold. Now, for those of you who got a little upset because I didn't show the whole video, I'm trying to avoid these copyright stuff, but she told him to tell his wife the same things that he told her in order to get back his wife. There is no amount of money in the world or any woman in the world that you should just up and leave your wife for just for the sake of a physical attraction. Just for the sake of a physical attraction, right? People get in and out of shape throughout the years. Let's be honest about that. That's something you can change. That's something you can work on. Anybody can work out, get fit. But if you married to somebody, it meant that you had to be committed to that person. You were with them for many years. You got into show business. And all it took was for the devil to come in and decided that it wants to mess up your home. And boom, there goes your home. There goes your happy home. Now, he is 65, according to what he said on the podcast. And he is now looking back at his life and is like, damn, I wish I had kept my wife, or I wish I didn't cause my wife this kind of pain to where we had to end our marriage, right? But it shouldn't take that long for a man to realize that the physical part of life, the attraction, is a temporary fix. It is not something that's sustainable. We can't always be in the bed 24/7 getting it on. Life is real. You need a partner. You need somebody that is going to be there for you through thick and through thin, right? A lot of times us men fall victim to the flesh. We fall victim to seeing a woman and be like, damn, I need that right now. Willing to throw everything away simply because you want to experience that. The brain of men is like, you see a woman, you want to have an experience with that woman, not knowing that you already have something great that is home, but you're not nourishing that relationship. You're not cherishing that relationship. You instead go out trying to buy a new flower instead of watering the garden that's in your house for it to flourish, right? I think sometimes us married men, we should be able to start to speak life and speak, good in our relationship versus trying to woo every woman we see in the streets. Now, I heard him on the podcast also talking about, going on Eddie Murphy's yacht, and Eddie Murphy and all his single friends were on the yacht, and he and his wife was the only married couple there. I will say this: if you really want to stay married, you got to hang around other people with the same interests, the same type of married people. When you're hanging around people that are, living day to day and have no intentions on being with one person, you're setting yourself up for failure, because no matter what, every time you come around, there's an invisible boogeyman there that's saying, well, are you going to cheat? Why are you not cheating? Why are you even here? Are you trying to snitch on us if we cheat? So it's one of those things where you have to kind of decide to yourself, do I want to live this kind of life? And I'm, sure he wanted to keep his marriage life, but this show business, like I was talking about in the beginning of the video, if you're a man and you're not of strong mind, you will fall victim to the devil's temptation when it comes to show business and women, especially if you're in intimate scenes with these people, you're hugging on them, you're looking in their eyes, and for some of them it could be the same where they're attracted to you. I've done video shoots already with girls, and after the video shoot, everything went so well. There's this open ended question. They're like, are we going to go have something to eat after this shoot? Can we all hang out? And you got to like say, you know what? Nah, y'all have a good time. I'll see y'all around town or something like that. But you can't fall for that temptation, because if you have somebody at home, you are gonna in turn ruin your relationship with your spouse. It's a very challenging field, this show business field, if somebody decide that they want to do it and not be single. Because take for example Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. When Brad Pitt did the movie, he was married to Jennifer Aniston, right? And after the movie with Angelina Jolie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt and Angelina started dating, got married, he divorced Jennifer, and they went on and have kids. So sometimes the attraction, the physical attraction level on these casts, on these sets, is so strong, it leads to more than just the business. It leads to more than just the business, and it's a very tricky and narrow road to travel on. It's kind of sad now that he's 65. He said he's bitter. It would take a miracle for him to get married again, simply because he knew what he had. And it's very hard. It is extremely hard to duplicate the one good woman that loved you, right? It's very difficult for you to duplicate that. Same thing for women. If you have somebody that truly care about you, and you get up one day, you say, you know what, I'm going to fall for temptation, and I'm going to do things behind my spouse's back and break it all up and whatever. It is very hard to get that same type of love back. It's very difficult. That's why sometimes, or all the times, it's best to talk things over and work things out. Some of the times it's very small issues that we tend to escalate into big problems. And if we had just fixed these things one by one, people would still be together. So I say that to say this: whether you are at work, working with your coworker, because that's another place right there where you can see a girl, you like the girl, and you're married and all that, and boom, you have a kid out of your marriage and all that nonsense. Be very mindful, be very careful of watering flowers outside of your home when you got a garden at your house. Be very mindful of that. Don't try to pour into other women and you got your wife at home, because at the end of the day, you are going to have to take the time to know this new person, and it's very difficult for you to duplicate the love that your wife has for you. It's very difficult to find that. That's why you went through all the troubles, buying a ring, setting up the wedding, giving this woman her baby and all that. People tend to think that men don't invest a lot in marriages. But if you really do the math on it, from the moment a man meets a woman to the moment he buys the ring, paying all the bills, taking care of the kids, all that stuff, is a lot of investment for you to just throw out the window for a quick one night stand. Now, let's get into the comments and see what people got to say. Someone says, sending massive love to my brother Damon. His candor in this interview is phenomenal. Someone says, take notes, people. Fun is okay until the regret settles in. I'm not going to read anything else because that comment alone says it all. Fun is okay until the regret settles in. I know somebody personally who is no longer with their wife. They're constantly partying. You know what I'm saying? They're out there. And, deep down in my mind, I know for sure that that woman was a incredible woman. And it would be very hard to find somebody like that. And I'm pretty sure this is what Damon has gone through. And now he is, he's happy, but he's living with regret. The older you get, the more you realize that life is more than just the physical aspect of intimacy. Until next time, guys, Scopamart TV. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm out.